is project annual reviews. So we do have 2 annual reviews that are out there, the SD Kotlin and the Farmworker Wallet OS. Ace is not here, so we won't be talking about the SD Kotlin one, but Jorge and Okert are here, so we can talk about the Farmworker Wallet OS update that has been provided. So this did come in yesterday, I believe it was, with an update on what's been happening. I know a couple of us on the TAC have already had a chance to look at it and approved it, but wanted to see if there was specific things, Jorge, that you wanted to call out for the TAC on what you've been doing, and talk through that with the TAC.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. I'm excited to be here again to present our progress. Overall, I think we've had a really good year in terms of achieving some of the milestones that we were hoping to reach in our efforts to adopt the open source mindset and delivery framework for maintaining this project. We've been focused primarily on the Aries ecosystem. That's where this project kind of originated, and we're low code enthusiasts, so it's not like we're trying to reinvent the wheel. We're taking the great stuff that's coming out of Aries, specifically Cradle, which is now an OpenWallet Foundation growth project. Today, that's really the core engine for the Farmworker Wallet OS. And the intent is to make it easy for developers that work in our ecosystem, which is Mendix. Mendix is a low-code application platform. It's huge in Europe. If anyone hasn't heard of it, I encourage you to take a look. But it's basically, it's a platform that's our stack for building solutions. We're Entidad, is a social impact startup, and this is a technology choice we've made in terms of building our business. We're doing it on top of Mendix. So with that, I think that Okert and I, we've put in a lot of work to ensure that we've got interoperability with Aries. Profiles 1 and 2, I think we mostly covered the majority of the protocols and the test cases. We've gone through a number of upgrades. Cradle is, they're animals out there. They're moving quickly and introducing a lot of great functionality that we hope to be able to leverage over time. Again, our focus has been on creds and DITCOM specific protocols to enable facilitating engagement between nonprofit organizations and the community they serve. That's really the problem we're trying to solve. These are farm workers. By the way, the Farmworker Wallet OS doesn't only cater to farm workers. We named it Farmworker Wallet OS as a nod to the essential workers that feed us. But this framework can be used for any context, and so I wanted to make sure that was clear.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, obviously there's been a lot of work, I think, that I did see show up here in this list of things that you've been working on. I think it's great work that you've been doing. For next year's goals, I think you have a good set of goals for what you're looking at. One of the questions I think I had is, since you've been part of the OpenWallet Foundation, contributors from other organizations, have you seen an uptick in other people who are interested in the project and starting to contribute and help the team out, or is there things that can be done on that regard from the perspective of getting additional people participating?
We've tried. We're active in the Mendix community itself. There's the Mendix has a whole forum, a Slack. There's a separate channel for us to engage with other Mendix developers, and we've tried to proactively communicate our work and share some of our progress. But we've also been a little key on that front because we've been heads down on building up the framework and ensuring that it's reliable, that it actually works in a production context. And so I feel like we're not quite ready. And it's actually helped us to be in this stage in the labs because the focus is just to build a framework and get it to a point where we're not building so much and we can start the documentation and maybe some tutorials to really start going after Mendix developers and showing them that this is a great a toolkit combined with all the other great work that is being done in the OpenWallet Foundation for Mendix developers to introduce digital trust technologies into their apps. I feel like we need a little more time to get the documentation worked out and polished, and then get more aggressive on marketing this framework. I suspect that over the next year, we hope that to be able to do some work around the mobile driver's license, and I know that's of interest in all over the world actually, and so maybe that'll spur some more interest if we can get some working components around the MDL standard there.
Okay. Other questions that others have on the Farmworker Wallet OS annual review? Tom?
I will point out to the TAC members and the attendees of the TAC today, I just put a link to a YouTube video. Let me lower my hand. A link to the YouTube video that Jorge and the Farmworker Wallet OS team did a few months ago. They gave a presentation to the Hyperledger Identity Special Interest Group, which is a meta SIG within Hyperledger of different identity projects, and a lot of it's a roundup of what's going on in the space, but also they have a presenter every other week. And I believe Jorge and Jesus are the ones presenting this day, but they did a fantastic job. If you want to really get a sense of the work they've been doing, I could not recommend that video enough. And it's in the chat if you want to look it up.
Great.
Thank you, Sean.
Wenjing?
Yeah, Jorge, thanks for sharing this, and this is great work. I hope we have more opportunity to really spread the news and about the project wider. In that note, I don't know whether you have any suggestions or wish that the TAC or the OpenWallet Foundation can be doing in getting projects, I think, more time and exposure. So that would be very great to hear from the project like yourself.
Yeah, good question. Like I said, I think that what I would really like, because we've had a couple of colleagues that I worked with on some of the other community groups that I participate in have actually poked around with our project. They've downloaded the repo, but they've had a bit of a challenge. So some haven't succeeded in running the app and actually running the demo. But I think that would be an interesting test to see maybe if a couple of the folks from the CAC would be interested in trying it out, because we think that it's a low code environment really. So like you download the repo, you install the IDE, and then you hit start, and literally you have a wallet. Today we only have an edge agent available in the framework, but next year you'll be able to do a cloud agent as well. But at the end of the day, it's like that's the goal, is that a push of a button, you have a toolkit that can be up and running. And even if you're not a developer, right, you just want to explore wallets and get a feel for what they do, the messages that they're exchanging with other wallets or other agents. And so it could be a great tool just to discover the ecosystem, even if you're not really interested in building these types of apps yourself.
So some kind of like I don't know, a webinar or a meetup time, would that be something the project is looking for at this moment?
Yeah, absolutely. I would be really interested in a meetup type of format where, informally we can just, get people together and we could walk through in more detail how this thing works, how to get it up and running, how to build how to build the app to install on your device or an emulator. And that's all in lieu of the documentation, right? So I think that people I'm very visual, so I know that people like to see instead of reading, so that might be helpful. Yeah, I know that labs don't get a lot of support, and that's fine. We've kind of been heads down, but if there's an opportunity for that, certainly we'll take you up on it.
Sean?
Yeah, and Wenjing, that's a great question. We are working on a marketing plan and providing support to projects to get more of the word out about what they're working on, as well as, let's start it. We've got a couple of videos on our YouTube. We're gonna really come out of the gate after the summer ends and hopefully do a better job of getting the word out about the specific projects, but also the OpenWallet Foundation in general. So I do not have something to present to the TAC yet. I'm hoping, if not the next meeting, the meeting after. But yeah, that's a great question. Something we're going to focus on heavily.
Thank you, Sean.
All right, any other questions on the Farmworker Wallet OS annual review? All right, I think when we had the last annual review that we looked at, we did vote to approve it and get it merged in. Are we ready to do that then for this particular pull request?
Hey, thank you, guys.
Was that a motion?
Can I get a TAC member to forward the motion?
Yes, I would propose that.
Thank you, Wenjing. Can I get a TAC member to second the motion, please?
David can second.
David, thank you for that. If you will all bear with me for one moment while I make sure TAC member has not entered the call without me seeing it. All right, great. Okay, in the matter before the Technical Advisory Committee, the annual review for the Farmworker Wallet OS, I will read out the TAC member's name. Please say approve if you approve. I'm sorry. Please say approve if you approve. That's terrible. Please say yes if you approve. Please say no if you do not approve, or abstain if you refuse to vote one way or the other. David Z, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Rolson, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you. Pete Cooling, how do you vote? Did we lose Pete? Pete, are you still with us?
He's on mute.
He is on mute. Okay, I'll come back to Pete in a second. Tracy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you, Tracy. And Wenjing, how do you vote?
Yes.
And let me see if I can reach Pete on chat. I've had 2 other calls today where folks had technical difficulties, so it's not the joy of Zoom. Tracy, is it acceptable if I reach out to Pete out of band and get his vote and then report back to you?
Yeah, that's fine. I also saw that Stavros has approved the PR offline as well. So I do think we have enough votes regardless of Pete's to actually get this checked in and merged. So Jorge, thank you so much for the update. We'll keep you in the lab status for the moment and look forward to seeing, you know, additional great work coming out and also some good marketing, maybe some webinars or meetups to really show and help people through the process of bringing this up and all those good sorts of things so that people can start to utilize it in their projects. So thank you for that.
Great, thank you all.
All right, we'll leave the SDJOT